Tame Impala there with a beautiful slow fade out by Mr. Cononesta. Thank you very much, sir. Very well done.
Are you okay?
We are reviewing
The Power of Connor.
The Power of Slow Fades and The Power of Con. We are reviewing To Be Sung Underwater by Tom McNeal on the Unity Book Review.
A book I failed to say the title of, which actually the title becomes Don't Walk Around.
She's molting.
Yeah, you are molting.
She's molting. Leave her alone.
Stay away. Oh.
Right. So anyway, the title it becomes really poignant towards the end, actually.
Uh-oh, it's not going to be... He's not doing what I think he's going to do, is he?
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to tell you the whole book. I never do that. But it is really quite heart-wrenching. And when you... one of the themes that is overarching is to do with marriage and to do with the institution of marriage, because the protagonist is married and has chosen to marry a banker and sort of go the more linear line. And then she has this... It also deals with kind of this obsession that we have with firsts, so first loves in particular.
Yeah.
And a friend and I were talking about it the other day because she's kind of hooked on her first love, even though it's just clearly not going to work out, no matter how many times you run it over in your head.
Yeah.
Is it sounding?
Yeah, it's, yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah. But it's that kind of that notion of firsts, you know, because you hold everything up against the first time you do anything.
Totally.
So it can be quite destructive.
I have a friend who shall remain nameless who just can't get into a second relationship because it doesn't feel like what it did with my first relationship.
Well, yeah.
And you're like, well, it's not going to, man. Like, unfortunately.
I know. So we do in many ways live in a world of firsts, and this book examines that kind of the impact it can have on, you know, the ones that come after, and whether or not that kind of intense passion that you have at the beginning, if you're lucky enough to, is something that deserves more of your attention than perhaps a kind of a balanced and...
yeah. Can you say what his take on it, or is that giving it away a little bit too much?
No, one of the other really lovely things about this book is it does, almost like a David Foster Wallace ending, it doesn't just end, but it ends really mid-story. So you get this huge chunk of story about Judith and her flashbacks, and then she kind of discovers this old love and goes back and investigates and really trawls through who he is and what could have been.
Yeah.
And then you're left to digest how she might possibly cope with the rest of her life in light of all of this information. So he doesn't really in the end make a judgment about marriage or whether or not you should stick with one thing or another. He just kind of gives you the human experience and allows it to settle in whatever way you will. Like
a snapshot kind of thing,
yeah.
And then you just got to deal with it yourself afterwards.
Yeah, I know. And there's this amazing quote in here, actually, which is just totally gut-wrenching, because when she goes back and she sees him, he's spent his whole life thinking about her similarly. But he says to her that, for you, I was a chapter, a good chapter maybe, or even your favourite chapter, and for me, you were the book.
Ah.
Which
Steal
is
that.
Like, totally, yeah, I know.
If you're going back to get your first girlfriend or boyfriend, take that line with you.
Oh, I can post that later.
Cut
and paste.
Put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Elise. So read it. To Be Sung Underwater by Tom McNeal. Go and read it. Awesome. What would you like to go to now, Cons?
What do you want to go to?
Crazy
really? Any requests?
Not that you'll have, probably.
Oh, hey, we might.
No, because you don't have music from like before, like 2005 or
we
something.
we have a little bit of Craig David.
Craig David.
That's what I was wanting.
The Stones. We got some Rolling Stones.
Yeah, should go to some Rolling Stones then.
I think we got Give Me Shelter.
Oh yeah, I've got some good Rolling Stones for you.
Awesome.
All right, let's.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Cool.
So ready. Say goodbye, Lily.
Bye,
Bye, Lily.